Hello everyone, kia ora from New Zealanders. I'm living in Canada and Tom is actually with me in the same city in Vancouver, obviously socially distanced.
We're basically a few houses apart.
Yeah. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through what we've been working on and the strategy for the next 4 years, and Tom will talk about the next year in detail. But after we present, we've actually got hopefully a good chunk of time to answer your questions and get your ideas. And we've created a form that you can put your ideas into and express your interest in being as part of the Volunteer Community Surveyor Program team. So keep that in mind as we talk, and I look forward to hearing your ideas. So I just want to acknowledge that when I was preparing this, we were waiting for the FIG Council to sit and approve the program, and I've just received word that they are in support of it. So very proud and excited to present to you. However, there may be some things in here that they have questions on, so it'll be quite high level. So a little bit of background to you who may not have heard of the Volunteer Community Surveyor Program. So I'll refer to it as the VCSP from now on. Essentially in 2016, the Young Surveyors Network started the wheels spinning for a program that allows young surveyors to volunteer their skills. In 2017 and I think early 2018, they successfully deployed 13 young surveyors across 7 countries, and they partnered with GLTN, which is the Global Land Tool Network, and the FIG Foundation. Thank you, John. The GLTN is facilitated by UN Habitat, for some context there. So if you want some more information, there's a really good video that the chair at the time, Ava Maria, made on YouTube. Just type in Volunteer Community Surveyor Program. But the premise of this presentation is more about moving forward. So since 2017, the things that have happened is 2018 there was an evaluation. So outcomes from that were that there was great success from the program. Both partners and young surveyors saw huge benefits in it. The young surveyors got professional development, soft skill development, and an idea of how to implement the social tenure domain model. And the partners were also supportive. However, the big question is, how can we make it scalable and sustainable going forward? So this is the how, and I'm just going to run through what's changed since then in our plans, what we're planning on changing up, and then run through our vision, purpose, and commitment. So we're looking at introducing and making partnerships and relationships with new partners. So we acknowledge that GLTN and FIG Foundation are our core and our only partners at the moment, and we look forward to continuing that relationship. GLTN has helped us create this strategy, and we're working very closely together. However, we do want to look to diversify our offerings in terms of volunteering, and also our sources of funding, knowledge, opportunities, and technology. Another change is we're looking to improve the in-country volunteering. So this is building on the success of the pilot and then making small changes to keep growing and improving on it. So one of those changes might be an extension to 6 weeks instead of 4 weeks, as was the feedback from the young surveyors. It wasn't long enough. We're also looking at sharing the workload more and have earlier action. Another change is the organisation structure. So we think for for the VCSP to be sustainable going forward, we need succession plans. So Tom and I are getting up there in age, and we won't be young surveyors for too much longer. We've got a bit more time, and we see that the way to grow this, one way is to make sure that there are other enthusiastic, passionate people to take this and own it and continue it. Another tool that we'll use is empowerment. So we will empower the different regional networks and national organisations to search for partnerships, search for opportunities, etc. And it should make it scalable as well, the program scalable. We'll introduce what we're calling the VCSP knowledge portal. So this is in order to share knowledge between VCSP team members or between volunteer community surveyors, between partners, mentors, etc. That's a long-term goal. And then we will develop the VCSP brand and values. So I don't really like using the brand, but the values side of it is what really I think we can all unite through and see where we're all going. So we have an existing code of conduct that the volunteer community surveyors, 13 that have already been deployed, they signed up with, and we're keeping that and may develop it slightly, but that's a certain level of expectation that we have of the volunteers. We also have developed a set of 4 values. So they are volunteerism, respect, curiosity, and sustainability. Finally, one of the big changes is we're going to introduce 3 paths under the one program umbrella, essentially. And so the existing path is the in-country. The second one is we've got e-volunteering. So e-volunteering is an opportunity for people to volunteer, young surveyors to volunteer when they may not be able to leave home for whatever reason. For example, a global pandemic. And the third path is what we're calling wisdom workshops. So they are designed to train young surveyors, give them some wisdoms to take with them if they become a volunteer community surveyor. So these are all going to come together to hopefully reach our ambitious but I think achievable vision, and that is to be the VCSP will be a respected and sustainably run program connecting skilled young surveyors with a strong network of partners who stand up for land rights for all and fight against environmental crises. So that's our blue skies vision. Our purpose is our why. Excuse me. So this is why we get up in the morning. This is what drives us. So the VCSP exists to have a positive impact on the environment and on people in need at a community level, a country level, and on a global level for our common future. And finally, our commitment. So this is what we're promising and committing to do, and that is to enable young surveyors to volunteer for the future through projects that prepare them for the world, both through career and personal, through learning different perspectives and allowing them to connect, promote, and share knowledge with others. So I know that that sounds really ambitious, and actually we've had that feedback from the council that it's ambitious, but we really like it that way. Next, I'm going to show you how we're going to do this over the next 4 years at a high level. Just some milestones that the major milestones that we're looking to get through. So this is us now. I was writing this beforehand, hoping that they approved it, and they have. And for the next year, which Tom will go into more detail next, is we've got one of each of the paths planned. So, well, our goal, our outcome for the year is to have one of each of these. So an e-volunteering event, a wisdom workshop, and an in-country deployment. And the years are running, I've got them running from May to May, just based on the approval that we've got. Year 2, the major milestone, we're having a second wisdom workshop. Year 3 is another e-volunteering event and another in-country program. And the final year will be a final wisdom workshop. Now, it looks like there's gaps, but actually what we've got, and not in bold there, is activities that will allow us to move on and keep going through the next year and prepare for the next year's activities. So yeah, in total we've got 2 in-country deployment programs, 2 e-volunteering events and 3 wisdom workshops over the next 4 years. I think that's now cue for Tom to chime up. So Tom, I'll pass over to you, and Tom's going to talk about how the next year will go fitting into this work plan.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much, Claire. Yeah, that was a really well put together summary of, you know, what we're planning for the next 4 years. It's ambitious, but yeah, I think it's definitely very doable. You know, Claire, also have to give her a shout out because she's really been the driving force behind the VCSP for the last, you know, wee while, and, you know, she's doing great work and putting a lot of work and creativity into it. And I guess thanks all to you all for hanging in there as well. It's turning out to be a lovely weekend looking out the window, especially in Vancouver anyway. So yeah, basically, as Claire said, I'm here to give you a bit of a brief overview of what we've got planned for the next year, and you know what the Volunteer Community Surveyor Program is going to look like in that time. We're pretty excited about the potential the program has, and we hope to share some of this enthusiasm with you all and get you involved if there's something that interests you. Most of all, right now, we really would love to hear your questions, you know, based off what Claire said, based off what I said. You know, put them down on that sidebar and we'll do our best to answer some of those after I've given you this run through. So as we mentioned, it's going to be a busy year, and we want our pace and ambition in this year to set the tone for the VCSP going forward. We're going to recruit for the VCSP team. We're going to create a framework for the knowledge portal that Claire talked about earlier. We'll also be running our first e-volunteering event and wisdom workshop, and we're going to work towards facilitating an in-country development of volunteer young surveyors in partnership with the Global Land Tool Network. Now, we realise that COVID-19 is potentially going to throw a bit of a spanner in the works in some elements, and it might impact people's ability to travel easily for the foreseeable future. And there is a potential that could impact the in-country deployment timing. So some of this is still yet to be confirmed, but our intent is here. So for the rest of the projects we've got planned, we don't really foresee a massive impact. And, you know, just as we have been in making this Young Surveyors conference happen, I feel like we can be agile and adaptable to changing circumstances. So, yeah, now to start off, we've split the year into 4 quarters, with the first quarter going from May to July 2020. Priority in this quarter is going to be to connect with and recruit young surveyors to join the VCSP core team. Our team is going to be split into organising committees for the e-volunteering project, in-country volunteering, and wisdom workshops and knowledge portals. And each of these committees will go forward with these respective projects from this point. Claire's also been working really hard on a toolkit to facilitate wisdom workshops, which will be released at this time. So it's going to give the wisdom workshop organisers a solid framework to be able to work from here. Quarter 2, from August through to October, is going to be a pretty exciting one, because this is when we're really going to start offering our projects to young surveyors globally. To start off, we're going to be running our first e-volunteering project. The exact project's yet to be confirmed, but we've got several ideas in the pipeline so far, including supporting the great work Mapping the Plastics doing, so watch this space. We're also going to be starting to collect content for the knowledge portal, as this is going to be a key database of handy information for the projects going forward. Quarter 3, from November this year to January 2021, is going to be a pretty busy one, as it's going to see the continuation of the e-volunteering project potentially, running the first wisdom workshop, and also the opening of young surveyor recruiting for the first in-country deployments in partnership with the Global Land Tool Network. It's quite possible at this stage that we're going to end up running the Wisdom Workshop as a webinar, but this is going to depend on the timing and place that it's held. The Wisdom Workshop is going to be a really useful resource, in particular for anyone who's interested in being deployed as an in-country volunteer community surveyor. And it will be orientated towards skills that will be required for the upcoming deployments in Q4. So the final quarter, from February to April 2021, is going to involve deploying and supporting the volunteer community surveyors, provided this is practical given the travel restrictions at the time. We're also going to work on planning for the future of the program and its various projects. As Claire mentioned earlier, we're forward-looking with this, and we'll be looking to involve new partners at this point and more young surveyors as opportunities arrive. So, as I mentioned at the start of my segment, we're pretty ambitious with our roadmap for the next year, and to achieve this, we'd love to get more young surveyors, well, surveyors of any age, involved. This program's all about community, and we're really keen to build one with the VCSP team, and it really starts with you guys. And, we're really keen to hear your ideas on this. We have a questionnaire that we'd like you to fill out after this webinar, and yeah, we'd really love to hear your thoughts. And if you're interested in being involved in this, what we think is going to be a pretty exciting program, yeah, we'd love to have you involved. So I think now I might just switch to Mel, if she's got any if she's seen any questions from the audience.
Yeah, we have one question that's come up, so I'll just read it out. So this is from Hartmut. He's the chair of Commission 3. He would like to know, what do you mean with the Wisdom Workshop? Can you explain what outcome you would expect?
I can probably address that one. Thank you, Hartmut. That's a good question. I knew that was going to come up. So a Wisdom Workshop is come from a workshop that I ran in New Zealand, which was inspired by the VCSP, which brought together people interested in volunteering, and then also brought together experts and return volunteers to share stories from their experiences, to have hands-on sessions on tools you can use like the STDM or Open Tenure and various tools for community mapping, or any tool really that helps with your role as a volunteer depending on your deployment. Also included in that would be panel discussions, maybe with the humanitarian seniors, if you will, which is people who have experience in humanitarian surveying. And what else did we include? We included a discussion on how to keep the VCSP moving forward, and we had a wisdom session on land tenure and communal land rights. So it's sort of fluid, but there are some set outcomes that actually I've included in the guidance that we will put out in the first quarter. So I hope that answers your question, and thank you for it.
Don't see any other questions, so I'll just, there might be one. Yes, it answered it. So we
Yay, thank you. Yeah, so thanks, Mel, for putting that form in. And again, I just want to reiterate that we've been working on this and doing our best, but we do see that this is a collaborative, we're all about collaboration and empowerment, and we really want to get your ideas. So please get onto that form, let us know your ideas, and there's also an option to say yes to be, if you want to be in the VCSP team, and tell us about yourselves. Yeah, and I also just wanted to say a quick thank you to Mel for all your efforts. I'm very proud of you as your friend, and I'm very inspired by you as a leader. So congratulations on a good term.
Thank you.